What's up, man? I'm sorry it's taken this long to send you a little video on how to make a poi handle, at least the way I like to do it on Fusion. It uses this really cool feature, and it's super awesome the first time I saw it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Sketch, and we're going to use one of the side planes that go in the vertical orientation, right there, or right there. And then after you click on that, right there, now we're going to imagine that the poi handle is hole pointing down, like we're looking at it from a side profile. The tool we're using is a Revolve tool, so it's going to, the center point is going to be the green line. So what we're going to do is essentially make what you would see if you cut the poi into like a quarter or a half. I'm not sure which one would reflect it more. But we're going to start off from the very center point, and we're going to bring it out only about 10 millimeters or so. I am voicing over this, so if I make any mistakes, it's because of that. So after that, we're going to go up a bit, and this part is the bottom part of the poi handle, so it only needs to be about 2 millimeters. Then we're going to have another line that goes over. And it does this, Fusion does this cool thing where you can drop it down like I just did, and then when you lift it back up, it'll lock it in, or kind of lock it in place. So you can just click there, and that'll make part of a box. And you can click the check mark to finish that. Now we need to make the interior wall of where the washers would go, and this is going to give the majority of the handle its height. So let's just go with about 15 maybe or so millimeters. That looks good. And then what we're going to do next, you can do an arc or you can do a fit point spline. Arc doesn't give you as much creativity or as many points. That's why I like to use the spline tool. So for the first part off of this bottom point, we don't want to go much past 45 degrees, at least towards the flat part, or else it won't print. You know that. So I like to do right at 45. So we're going to hit it right in the top corner of that little square area of 2 squares. And then after that, we're going to go up a little bit more, right about here. And then make a couple more connections up to the very top point. And this is making the corner of the poi handle. And I like doing that because you can drag any of those points around and kind of adjust things. So it's super handy. Now the magic. This is the Revolve tool. This is why it seems really weird how we're doing it, and it'll all make sense in a minute. So you just click on Revolve and then highlight the profile that you want right here. And then you click the axis right here. I'm not sure why the menu's not popping up, or maybe it is, I just can't see it in my screen. But yeah, once you pick the axis, which is that very middle point, it literally just makes a shape that you did from a profile. It's really convenient. To try to get that contour on the outside different ways is doable but difficult. So now the only other things we have to do to this really is use the fillet command to just barely level out some of these edges. I don't like there to be hard edges on anything, especially because that's where your fingers are going to be. So let's do about a 1/2 millimeter fillet right there so it can still print. And then we can do maybe 1 millimeter up here. That looks nice. Cool. The only other thing we have to do is make the hole. So you literally just click the hole command, and you just click the flat part right in there. And then that hole won't be centered, so you can bring it out and then it'll snap back to the origin, which is super convenient. And that should pop up a settings menu. I wish that it was showing me these things, but for some reason screencast isn't working. But we're going to go into the corner and we're going to change the dimensions to just make it have a straight through hole. 11 millimeters in diameter usually is enough, and it can extrude as far as you need to. But yeah, that's basically it. Widmar-ish poi handle in under 5 minutes. So I hope you enjoy this. If you want some other tutorials, I can send them to you. And thank you for being an awesome person.